Yeah, it's up toast. Joining the endeavor. Yeah, I'm just rolling some. I'm pretty tired. Tired from yesterday. I already did a bunch of stuff earlier, so colder now until next week. So, putting practice it is. Figured I'd be resting today. Well, Mr. Hole in One Bill. Were you in there last night, Toast? When Boogeyman Bill over here? I think I saw you were watching after. Boogeyman Bill got 2 hole-in-ones last night. But yeah, that was a ton of fun doing it, but the problem is when I'm like it wasn't even that late. I don't know how you play with Ben's, but like we finished at what, like 8 o'clock around there or something. Even that, when I'm playing that late, it just pushes everything back that I still need to do for the rest of the night. So like last night I was in bench stream. I couldn't fall asleep, which sucks. So like between being sore and all that stuff, to be tired on top of it, it's kind of like a double whammy. Take another few days hitting off balls. Feel better. Computer Greek. Get the rig together, accept the video card. Trying to find a cheap used one. Yeah, video cards are tough. Again, I don't know the most about those, but that's one thing with GS Pro. I guess if you're kind of like swapping out parts and whatnot, if you have the space, like they make some of those desktop computers pretty big, so I think you can pretty much interchange like almost anything that you want in there. But that is one thing where you have to actually spend the money on if you're gonna do it. You could always upgrade it, but um, those like high-powered newer GPUs now are crazy expensive. Like even my laptop, like if you broke it down by cost, it's not even like that nice of a laptop. It's just those graphics cards are so expensive. Yeah, had high hopes on Ben's league last night. Started par birdie bogey, par birdie, one under after five, and the wheels came off. That's how it goes. That's pretty much what happened with me. With Pebble Beach. It's tough keeping it together, especially if you're tired and you start getting into like the back nine and you're like becoming more wayward. It's not going as far, so you're swinging harder. Because like even if you think about it, I know like we were not moving a whole lot, but we still played. Me and you kind of somewhat last minute or very much last minute just played 3 rounds last night, kind of like nothing. So although they're par threes, they still kind of take it out of you a little bit. Hole in one Bill, yeah. Uneven Par was saying he's the best 20 handicapper he's ever heard of. To be fair, one of them was a hole in one like funnel hole, but the other one was legit. And I know they're short holes, but second birdie was a roll short from Eagle from 172. That's always the best when you hit those and going right towards the pin. GS Pro, I mean, it's awesome, but they gotta fix. Like, there's some like buggy stuff, especially with some of the online play stuff. They gotta fix some of those bugs. I know it's easy for me just to like bark out orders and easier said than done, but like the fact that like the aim stick shows up half the time, my own aim indicator shows up half the time. Like with Ben's last night, they were trying to have someone like it froze and then trying to have someone join back. Some of that stuff with like some of those shots we had last night, Bill, where we're like behind the tarp or the grass and like you have to press like 5 or B and you still can't even see the break, like that kind of stuff. No, I didn't play D-Lud. I played with D-Lud one time. That was like a week or so ago. I don't even remember. The days that I play out there kind of blend together. Whenever we played, call it like a week and a half ago, we just did it. Um, we recorded 18 as a scramble for his channel. He's doing like a series where he's gonna edit them and then put them out. I want to play. We're gonna do it. I just don't know when. An 18-hole live scramble on my channel, but the problem is most days he goes out there at like 10 o'clock at night, kind of like Ben does, and that's just like I can make like exceptions. Like I did it that one time, but I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that every night. So he was saying on some weekends he can get out there a bit earlier, so we'll probably end up doing that. I've had a couple more of those. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like if mine happened to go in on one of those, yeah, it's cool because it went in, but obviously it funnels to the hole. But still, it goes in. I haven't had one. Yeah, way past your bedtime. Well, like I said, like even like last night with Boogeyman Bill, that was later than I'm usually out there. So for something like that, it's just like I'm trying to like still be active and swing and like talk to Bill and whatnot and be even remotely entertaining for the stream. And then I feel like I'm still kind of like amped up from that, and to be able to like settle down and like shower and eat and still get some stuff done, it just pushes everything back. That was one of the things I hated about basketball. I don't know if you guys are the same, but doing anything like relatively like taxing or strenuous closer towards like the end of the day, I just can't sleep. I can't fall asleep. I don't know if my heart rate stays elevated for longer. So like basketball would be pretty late. I would play basketball, and all those nights that I would play basketball, I'd be up until like 2 in the morning because I just can't like settle down and fall asleep. So I do miss basketball, but I don't miss that. One reason you train early, I do sometimes too. Most of the time I don't though. I'm not a big early morning person. I feel like I need some time to like wake up and get some energy up. I feel like we talked about this before, but yeah, I hear you. If you're trying to do anything early in the morning, it just throws everything off. You're a night owl, so it doesn't bother you. Yeah, but do you sleep in, or are you just one of those people that don't need a lot of sleep? Like I still, in order to like feel decent and have energy, especially with the way I like work out and then beat my body up more by golfing, I need a decent amount of sleep to not feel like just completely zapped the next day. They say hustle guys don't need much sleep. Is that true? I think it's person by person, but I don't know. You guys could be the judge. Because they say the same thing about young people. Some young people don't need sleep, then other people do. Yeah, you're tired, so if you wake up early, okay, you sleep in, it's fine too. Even though, like, even if I was 100% retired, I didn't like have to do anything. I still feel like even like staying up late and then sleeping in, um, it just like for me, it just like puts me in a funk to where there's something about getting up earlier and like feel like you're getting some stuff done and like being productive, at least for me. Used to run on 5 hours sleep, now it's more like 8. Yeah, I can do 5. I can do like low amounts of sleep for like a stretch of time, but then it starts to compound and it builds up and then I just crash. You're semi-retired starting tomorrow. I have 20 straight days off of work. Jeez. Well, congrats, I guess, for the next 21 days. That's pretty crazy. Better get that computer set up. Are those GPUs still kind of tough to get, or did that? I know, like during COVID, some people were selling those things because they were in high demand and they were tougher to get. So some of them were going for even they're already expensive, but some of them were going for crazy money. I think it was almost 3 when we went to bed last night. Up at 7 or so. Go figure. Well, that's not. That's only 4 hours, Bill. Use once if you know where to find them. Apparently. I get if people are. I mean, it makes sense if people are upgrading, especially like GS Pro. Unfortunately, it's not one of those things that you can just buy one time and then know you're good. Um, it'll definitely last you a couple years, but the way that the courses are, they just keep requiring higher and higher specs. So it makes sense if people are still kind of somewhat regularly can like upgrading those that they got to do something with their older ones. But no, not normal. Pay for it later, I'm sure. I assume so. I mean, some people they just don't need to sleep for whatever reason, but you're playing again tonight? It's too much. I can't do that. I either have to start swinging at like 50% to be able to just do day after day, or just the way I swing, I just can't do it. I like and enjoy kind of like hitting it hard, but there's no way I can do that just day after day after day. Especially like actual par three is one thing, But like if you're playing like multiple rounds of 18 where you're like hitting driver and you're actually trying to hit it somewhat as hard as you can, on top of working out and everything else, it's kind of a lot. I figure if I don't play tonight, then I'll press for time to get them done Sunday, tomorrow after pool. Yeah, I mean that's again. I'm just not all those different things. I'm just not 100% sold on SGT. So like that's something I commit to that I know I'm gonna have to feel obligated to do that, and then that leaves less time to do other stuff that I may want to do between recording other videos or doing like a scramble with you last night or whatever. I don't know. No time, no see, old friend. What's up? Doing all right. Kind of tired at this point. How are you? Just rolling some putts for a little bit. If you're not in the same mood, you're sitting around doing nothing. I hear you. It is fun. It is something to do. But personally, I get into a stretch or I get into periods where it's almost too much of a good thing. I feel like you almost need a little bit of time away to look forward to it again. You're good? That's good. It's cold here, which kind of sucks too. I was starting to get used to that 50-degree weather. Thinking too, I gotta get in a better habit of drinking more water while I'm playing in the garage. The only downside is would have to probably take. I'm trying to drink a ton of liquids, but probably have to take more frequent breaks to go to the bathroom. When it warms up some, I'll have things to do outside till then. 4. Take care of yourself and stay warm. Appreciate it. I mean, that's part of it too. The fact that the cold playing out there, even though like it was got up to like 48 degrees or whatever in the garage yesterday, even that, like prolonged periods of time, especially when it gets cold and that, cold kind of takes it out of you too, versus if it was like climate controlled in there. Past week, my back was bothering me too, which sucked. Like I said yesterday, I think I did some foam rolling and used that inversion table thing to kind of pop it back into place, but that was the worst, especially during that speed training. I probably shouldn't have done that until I kind of got my back in a better place, but it just felt like for a couple days in a row there, someone was just like pressing on a nerve on the back of my right shoulder blade. How's Rocket putting in good work? What's up, Johnny C. Golf Show? Working on the old flat stick. Golf can turn into a 3 to 4 putt quickly if not dialed in. I agree. I mean, that's what they say. I mean, there's different scoring methodologies now between advantages of hitting it further off the tee and all that stuff, but generally speaking, most of us amateurs are going to either gain or lose a ton of strokes around the green. Putting IRL is easier for this than the sim for me. I would agree. I've been saying that too. It's just tough for me. I don't like do any kind of aim point stuff. I don't walk off my putts. I should probably do that, but like I don't use like the lines on the ball, like Sharpie or anything, or any of those like Callaway triple track balls. Like I don't line up any putts. So a lot of it is just kind of like feel and trying to like visualize it, which is tough on the simulator when I feel like I'm just putting into the abyss and I'm trying to keep the putter face as square as possible, and it just comes down to speed and where you try to aim on something like GS Pro, which I'm just like guessing. I bet there's probably like people that putt like mad scientists like Bryson, that they have like that pendulum system and they're very much dialed in with like their launches and their speed control. I bet they probably are better on the sim putting than other people that are more like field putters versus super scientific. Lotto putting. Feels like it sometimes. I mean, I feel like since I've been putting on the sim, there are like some tricks to it that you get better at and you can pick up on, but still, like me and Bogeyman Bill were talking about that last night. There's still some putts with like crazy breaks or like longer ones where I just still feel like I'm guessing. And like I feel like I'm starting to get more accustomed to the stimps too, and I feel like I know what like a 5 foot putt on the sim should feel like 10 feet, 15 feet, even up to 20. But then I feel like once I start getting past 20 up to like 25, 30, and then beyond that, like it's tough for me to feel what a 45-foot putt should feel like. Putting is the same in both. Very few 3 putts when I play regular. Heard I was talking to Ben last night, saying miles per hour and stuff. That's gonna take some time for me on the sim. GS Pro. Yeah, I don't do D-Lud, if you're familiar with him. He was doing some of that, where he gauges his. He had like a whole chart printed out that he looks at on his wall between the stimp and the miles per hour. The really only thing that I look at, I try to read the breaks, which everyone does. You take in every inch plays as a foot, both up or down, and then I look at the HLA after the putt, but that's more after the putt's done, feedback type of stuff versus trying to gauge it before. I've thought about messing around with the miles per hour, but I just don't know. Something like that. I try to keep what I do in terms of like practice and like working on my game or whatever. I try to do it to where it'll blend both between actual golf and sim golf. I'm not sure how something like that, the miles per hour, would equate over to when you start putting on course again, because you don't know what the stimp is, and then you're saying, okay, is this a 3.5 mile an hour putt or a 4 mile an hour putt? I feel like I'd start driving myself crazy. Man, it is so windy out today. Never know that you're outside. Yeah, never know the miles per hour once you're outside. That's why I feel like I do this. One, it's something to do indoors and not in the cold garage, but two, it just helps me seeing the ball roll straight and see it going in the cup versus like I could do, say I spent an hour of just putting on the sim, it would make me better at putting on the sim, but I'm not sure that would translate 100% over versus you spend an hour hitting wedges in your backyard for like 20 yards. That'll help your game, and I think it's even more so beneficial to do it on the sim where you're hitting wedge shots for an hour and you know exactly how far it's going. Because like at least with those shots, you have like a rangefinder or a GPS telling you, and I feel like that helps a lot. But for me, putting not so much. You have a similar setup. It keeps me true back and through. I would say a couple dozen putts on the practice green. Start the round. Helps calibrate my feel. Definitely not a bad idea. If I was like playing for any kind of real bragging rights or like money on the sim, I would probably do that. But for me, just like trying to like get better and shoot a halfway decent score, I'm not spending the time. I barely warm up enough. I'm not spending the time though for like 10 or 15 minutes before I start playing to just roll putts. Bought a gadget that doesn't let me come inside. I just hug it with the face, going back. Keeps you putting smooth. Oh, you're saying for your putting stroke? I don't practice short putts too much. Hit 10 to 30 footers with the break. I'm not a huge training aid person. I've never used like a putting training aid. I've always been under the impression that if like I'm not chipping it well or my wedges aren't great, I just gotta hit more wedge shots. Just get a better feel for it. Same thing with putting. Like if I'm not putting it well, I think okay, I just gotta go inside and hit some more putts, not necessarily like break out like the gates and all those like putting things. But definitely, I mean they sell them for a reason. Definitely work for some people. If I find a green and reg, I'm usually not close. Line the turf does it for me. I mean, kind of. I just wish this putting mat was cheap. Um, I'm sure I could fix it, but even just the way it's set up, if I putt on this one to the smaller one, even these right here is like pretty close. Yeah, it keeps me like in a better spot, but if balls pile up, you hit the balls over here, and there's like a little bit of a ripple here on this, so everything kicks, and the even the floor is not perfectly straight, so everything kicks. I need to putt them like over here, right edge every time. Um, so this one, I mean, I'm just trying to, with these putts, just putt after putt after putt, trying to make it as robotic as possible. So this does, I mean, this middle line does help though, but if I don't do it next week once it gets warmer, someone, Bogeyman Bill, you're in here a lot, remind me, I want to go out in the backyard, take that bucket of balls back there, and hit wedges for like an hour or two. I want to do like at least like 15, 20 minutes, if not like a half an hour on each arm, hitting one-handed wedge shots, left-handed, and then hit one-handed wedge shots right-handed, and use my actual wedges that I play with on course and just hit into the net. Switched to a new ping putter recently. Your 1968 ping answer? That's awesome. That thing's a relic. You have a ping answer too? What's up, Struggle Swing? With the new sim, what do I do with all these balls? Do we find the speed is more important than the line? The line doesn't matter. The speed is good. It's close to the hole. Nice Crocs, thanks. Yeah, I agree. Especially with the sim, the speed is so much more important because it's one thing. And we've been talking about this, but it's one thing if you can hit a dead straight HLA putt, which is awesome. And that's what everyone's trying to do. But you could still pretty sizably miss the cup and the inner circle if you don't read the break right. So I feel like it's only half the battle where you're aiming between HLA. Like you could even just play if you know that you push your putt 1 degree every single time. Like you could just play that consistently and then just aim further left on every single putt. But speed is one of those things. You're either blasting it by the cup or you're coming up short. So you gotta. There's really no way around that of getting that right. Say one couples won the 9-2 Masters with. It's crazy with all the tech. This is a newer Odyssey putter that I really like, but it's crazy with all the tech. I know a lot of it's just marketing, but all the tech and like the new drivers and even the irons, like the game improvement irons hybrids, how really none of that besides really like lab, any of that tech has really gone over to putters. Kind of just are what they are. Like if they were making like groundbreaking tech improvements with putters, the Tiger Woods of the world wouldn't be using 20-year-old Scotty Camerons. They'd be using the newest putter every single year. Can't remember the one I got. It was at Played Against Sports for 130 bucks. I love the feel off the face, so I bought it. Do you know the feel works both ways, both with like putters and like irons and like driver, but really, when you dig down into it, a lot of the what people associate with feel and what they consider feel actually is the sound. You can definitely feel the differences in softer putters and whatnot with your hands, but same thing with driver. I've seen people say that multiple times that really what people are talking about, they just don't really know about it, is it really comes down to the sound of a certain club. Contributes more to the overall like feel factor than anything else. So I chose Kishi over Lab. Has ball picker hole at the bottom of the offset. Dom and I $400 less. I was around with Bill last night. Went to the gym, so I didn't see it all. Bogeyman Bill over here. I gotta get going pretty soon, but Bogeyman Bill over here, you gotta go at least look at the highlights, Black Cloud. Bogeyman Bill got 2 hole-in-ones. We played 18 holes at Jurassic Park first, and then we played 18 holes at Concrete Jungle, and Bogeyman Bill got legitimately 2 hole-in-ones, and then we played 18 holes at Hillbilly Hills. But pretty wild showing over there from Bogeyman Bill. One of them was one of those C-drum funnel holes, but the other one was legit. And the other thing, I was saying GS Pro's got to fix stuff. They got to fix that glitch where it goes in on one person's and then the other person shows that it like missed the cup by like 2 inches. Used to play top flight balls just because of the sound off the putter. Nice solid click. That's insane. Nice job, Bill. We had our fair share. Bill carried me. Bill definitely carried me the first round at Jurassic Park. I was just hitting it terrible, and Bill was lights out. And then Bill had his 2 hole-in-ones at Concrete Jungle, and I feel like I carried the team a little bit more on the last one. But Bill played good. I mean, especially how do you play bad with 2 hole-in-ones? Yeah, he's also a fake lefty. Yeah, we got to figure out. Do any of you out there have Androids? I was trying to help out Bill, but I don't have an Android. I have an iPhone, and we're trying to figure out how he could switch to his rear-facing camera instead of the front-facing one. I hear my turf riders every at the range turns and looks because of the sound they give. What are turf riders? I don't know if I don't think I've ever even heard of that. Bill was pin seeking. He was. He was rolling some putts too. Had a few wayward shots off the tee, but all in all, hopefully it wasn't too bad. But I'm sure I do it all the time, so I'm just used to it. But it is like a different thing, and I'm sure a little bit daunting playing on a live stream where everyone can see your good shots and bad shots. So it is different. Oh, 1962 Wilson Staff bullet blades. Jeez, you're playing some difficult to hit, very unforgiving clubs. It sounds like those things must be so tiny. Used to have an Android, but I remember how to reverse the video. Look how it switched. It says tap the window, which I did. When you tap closer to the top of the screen. Yeah, I was under the impression, like, kind of same thing with iPhones. I kept telling you to tap the screen, and usually there's some kind of like rectangular looking box or like a reverse type of motion to where you just click it and it easily switches back and forth with your camera. But like I said, I don't use Android, and I don't even know if I've ever done a video call from my phone. I always just use my computer, so I wasn't much help. We got your auto screen orientation figured out, though. They're great. I practice with the blades, then you go to your AP2s. It's butter. Yeah, I'd imagine they're almost probably training aids. I've heard some people do that, use very unforgiving older clubs, and then you go back to your newer type of stuff, and it feels like you could literally hit it anywhere on the face and it'll go like dead straight. Oh, excuse me. I figured I'd hold my nose. I know it's probably, they say that's not good for you, but if I sneezed, that would have been so loud on the mic. Oh, your clubs are difficult for you to hit? Yeah, join the club. Bless you, thanks. All right, guys. Salute. Thank you. I'm gonna get out of here. Shorter one today, but just like popping on. Say congratulations to Boogeyman Bill. Talk about his hole in ones. See what's up with you guys. Roll some putts. And I'll probably be back here for. End up probably taking maybe a day or two off, but I think it gets warmer Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, so like next week, and then me and Struggle Swing, I think we're planning on doing a scramble on Tuesday, so you can look forward to that. But I don't know if I'll be in the garage. I gotta take some days off from swinging, and probably even some days off from doing these. You pull a rib muscle? Maybe that's what's wrong with my back. All right, I'm out of here. Have a good one, guys. Shout out to the members. Thanks for stopping in.